And then the last one of the weekend, Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 3.
Yeah.
Another topic we'll come on to soon, Arteta, but we'll start with that first. See how sick of VAR. It just takes over this podcast because it's all we talk about.
Honestly.
Perfectly good goal from McGinn, ruled out because apparently
in his line of sight.
He was in his line of sight, and obviously if he wasn't there, Leno would have saved it, wouldn't he?
Apparently so.
It is just rubbish, isn't it?
Honestly.
He absolutely hammered that into the back of it, didn't he?
There's no keeper that's saving that. No keeper in the world. And you can say, it's against, what it is. If someone's offside, they're offside. At the end of the day, he was never saving that. And realistically, the keeper knows where the ball is. He knows there's a player there. It's not like he's been blinded fully. He can still see parts of it. So it's not a full blinding of the goalkeeper. But like you're saying, for it to take 4 to 5 minutes to get to that end decision.
That should tell you it's not offside.
Unless you can see it in that first 15 to 20 seconds of seeing the clip. That's it. There should be a timer on it. If they're going to keep it in, there should be a timer on it. You're allowed to see it for this amount of time. Once that's done, go back and give your decision. Done. Because it's taking too long now for these stupid decisions to come into play. And thankfully, it hasn't cost Villa. Because that had been a classic thing last season for me that Villa fell victim to, was they'd have a rule go against the way like that, and then they'd lose the game 2-1 and they'd be left ruined decisions. But thankfully, they've been able to kick on in this game, and they've won it 3-0.
Yeah, they deserved it as well. And Arsenal should have took that as a warning, shouldn't you? Think first minute they've been given a warning straight away, and yet they didn't even listen to it. Saka own goal was the first one. Not a lot. It weren't really one of them own goals where how's he done that? It was just
if he doesn't touch it, Trezeguet touches it. It's going in either way. What I will say is it's a very good ball in from Matt Target. He's put it on a plate for either Trezeguet, like you say, an own goal for Saka.
That Arsenal defence though, it was like it was as if they were doing the COVID rules with Barkley and Grealish, weren't they? Were near them.
Honestly,
they were like it were. One of the goals were pathetic. It might have been that one. They had so much time, Barkley and Grealish, just to pass it around a little bit before it even got to.
Yeah.
It was just a joke. But them two, what a signing he's been, Barkley. It seems to have brought the best out of Grealish as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Them two are linking up perfectly this season.
Yeah.
They've got someone in Ollie Watkins up front who, for Villa now, can finally score goals. We know they've had their issues.
It hasn't took him long, has it, to settle into the Prem? Watkins.
No. Like you said, there were question marks if he could do it, but 6 goals already. He scored a hat-trick against Liverpool, 2 against Arsenal. He's doing it against the big boys. Never mind anyone else.
He is. He's doing really well, and they were well-worked goals too. They were, as bad as Arsenal were, because they were terrible, weren't they? They can't sugarcoat it.
Horrific.
But for Villa, they only the third side in Premier League history to win each of their first 3 away games.
Yeah.
So they're doing a good job. And Dean Smith. Some Villa fans wanted him sacked last season at times, and they'll be eating the words now because look what he's done for them.
That's it. I mean, they've conceded the least amount of goals this season as Villa. Jointly, should I say, with Liverpool, Leicester, Tottenham, and I think the other one's Wolves, I want to say.
Well, they only been battered once, haven't they, really? And that went on to Leeds.
And obviously they conceded 4 against Southampton last game. They had
I forgot about that, sorry.
Game as well. But for me, Villa this season, they're a completely different team.
It could just turn out to be a blip, them 2 games, at the back, because obviously they've come straight back against Arsenal and
what I will say is that Matty Cash has been sensational for them at right back.
Don't.
Obviously, I was going to say Burnley fans won't be happy with that because you were after him.
Really, he looks really good. Looks a top player in.
Emi Martinez, obviously, he wanted to be Arsenal's number 1. I don't think he'll be counting his lucky numbers here. He's got to a better team, in my opinion, at the moment.
He has. Yeah, he's a good keeper, Martinez, but Eaton's coming back soon. Obviously, I'm a big fan. And it'll be a good battle, that.
I think Martinez is definitely staying there, I think. It's unfortunate for Heaton. It's unfortunate for Heaton.
It is unfortunate. I think I want to see Martinez play more games yet, because I've got a feeling might be as good as we think.
He might not, but the thing is, for me, I think Martinez has spent so long as a number 2. He came out last season, he said he needs to be number 1 now for his career.
I respect what he's done with that. I respect that.
I think it'll be a contractual basis that he's got clarity and, has been given the okay about being number 1 for Villa. Because Villa, they haven't really got a number 2. They've got Jed Steer, but maybe not up to the quality of the Premier League. And like you say, it's unfortunate for Heaton because the same happened to him at Burnley. He was number 1 for a long time. He got the injury with his shoulder, and then Pope came in, did Pope things, and the rest is history for you. But it seems like it could have struck again for him at Villa. So it depends, obviously, if he then wants to leave and go somewhere else. Or, like you say, if he does somehow manage to overtake Martinez as number 1. But for me, I can't see that happening.
No, and what I will say, if Martinez does stay as number 1, if I were a top Championship or even one of the bottom Premier League clubs, I'd be looking to loan him in.
Oh yeah,
because he's still he's a quality keeper.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Villa 3-0. Arsenal, just seeing here, Aubameyang failed to have a single shot. We'll bring this into the fact that Arteta, obviously, there's a lot of talk. I'm not a big fan, to be honest.
No.
Like, people saying that he's creating this style of football, it's going to be a process and all this, but they don't look any better to me than they do under Emery when I watch them.
They said nothing like this about Emery. Arteta, he's had the same amount of games, if not a few more now than Emery did. And for me, the players just look lost. I don't know what it is about the system that they're playing, but
what is Aubameyang doing out wide?
That's the one. Aubameyang is not a left winger. Tierney plays almost as a conventional centre back. You've got Thomas Partey, who's being subbed at half time when he's arguably the best player on the pitch.
I think they were an injury now.
Right.
Apparently, because there were a lot of confusion over that. People were saying, why has he took it? I think that one, though, was injury. So that's... Right. Because Ceballos, I don't think he's good enough. No. And he came on. I watch him and I just don't think he's good. He has one good game in every 10.
I was going to say, I don't know why they brought him back, personally. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has come out and he said, he doesn't want to be a right back anymore. He wants to be a centre mid. They've got Granit Xhaka. They've got Joe Willock. So they've got players that can do a similar job. And obviously they brought someone in on loan and they're playing them above the youth-style players, the homegrown English and captain, and they're playing him ahead. Makes no sense to me. Nicolas Pepe, again, he's come out today and he said that he's frustrated with the amount of game time he's getting. Again, you can maybe argue that's his own fault. Yeah, you can maybe argue that's his own fault because he's not performed when he needs to.
Mm.
But for me, he's not played in a system that suits him. He didn't fluke the amount of goals he scored for Lille that season. He's obviously got quality. As to whether Arsenal's system or the Premier League fits that, you don't know. But like you say, I was a fan of Arteta at first. I have been, for quite a while. But
yeah, James has as well. You and James have both been. And I'm just...
Yeah, no, I'm starting to feel what you're seeing now because for me, just the system just doesn't work for them. And they've not recruited for me in the way that they needed to.
That's one thing that you can, I'll say he's been unlucky with. Some of them players at Arsenal just aren't good enough to win your league. I don't even think Lacazette is. I don't even think Lacazette is good enough.
For me at the moment,
he'll score some goals, but have you seen some of the chances he'll miss?
Oh, yeah, the header against Villa was dreadful.
How is he missing that?
Yeah.
I think there's too many players there. Rob Holding, he's not going to win you a Premier League, is he?
See, the thing with this is, though, this is Arteta, like you say. They've got that William Saliba.
He hasn't played him, has he?
No, and I am baffled as to why. He seemed all right in pre-season. He seemed like he was going to give it a chance in pre-season. The league starts, and he's nowhere near the first team. He played in the bloody Papa John's Cup of a night. That's how much of his career's gone forward.
Yeah, I'll be enjoying that order.
They tried to loan him out on the last day of the deadline day to Saint Etienne again, I think. Arteta came out and said, obviously, he got an injury, so he hasn't really had that bedding in season that he needs. I mean, Arsenal, they aren't, inundated with centre-backs of quality. Why not give him an opportunity? You know, they've just been beaten 3-0 in their own backyard by Villa. If that doesn't scream out issues, I don't know what does. And like you say, for me, he needs to be careful. I don't think he's on the verge of getting sacked or anything, because I think Arsenal have had too much of that being the situation in the past. But Arteta's making some bold decisions, you know, similarly with Ozil.
Well, that's the biggest decision, isn't it? That's the biggest decision he's made, yeah.
You'd think that this system that he's playing, though, would fit an Ozil-style player.
You watch him and you think they're crying out for an Ozil. Yeah. And as much as he goes missing sometimes, he can unlock defences, can't he?
But apparently not. And like you say, for me, it's just confusing at the moment. Like I say, whenever I watch him, it just seems like they haven't got the fluidity. And it's almost like he is a new manager that's bedding him in, but he's not. He's been there for almost a year now.
I know. People keep saying this. I mean, how long's this process going on for?
Exactly. So
we'll have to see. But that Ozil, I think that's I think he's made a mistake not putting Ozil in the squad. I really do. Even if he didn't play him, I just think that must have had a knock-on effect. Apparently, he's quite popular, Ozil, in the dressing room. So to leave him out completely, I think that surely had an effect. That could be a reason. Aubameyang's been poor.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of their best players, and I mean, there's that, and obviously playing out wide, which I just think is stupid.
Oh, yeah.
But that must have had an effect. I mean, Gunnosaurus will be fuming, won't he? He won't be happy. I think that could come back to the point where it might down the line cost him his job, Arteta. And we now, I think he's got at least till the end of this season, I think.
Yeah.
But I can't see him getting top four. They're so inconsistent.
Yeah. That for me is their aim. You know, the squad they've got a sensational player in Thomas Partey that's just been signed. Realistically, now you look at all points of that team, and you can't really see a weak link. You know, defence maybe.
Defence, I'd say.
But again, they haven't tested everyone for me. You know, Tierney, I think he's a decent left back.
Yeah.
Bellerin, I'm still a bit torn on. I think Bellerin's a little weak in defence. Gabriel, for me, seems good. It's just that second partner. Obviously, you've got that Pablo Mari maybe to come back, see if he can do it. But for me, give Saliba a chance.
We may as well. He can't any worse, can he?
Exactly. But
may as well give him a chance.
It's a weird one.